Hey there, Matt Solomon.
Hey, just realizing I was on mute there. All right. All right. So this is the first edition of Pitch or Engage, both both from different beaches in the U.S. Kevin, where are you
Yeah,
today?
far from you, just a little bit north. I'm in Stone Harbor, New Jersey. Where are you?
I'm in Bethany Beach, Maryland/Delaware, like right on the river that that cuts off the two states. So
So you're also getting the wonderful haze effect from our friends up north, the smoke, the
yes,
smog, or whatever you want to call
Our
it. Yeah,
Canadian friends, and I think we have a couple speaking today. So
we do.
they'll
We
have to
do.
they'll have to answer for that, obviously. Um, but no, thank you everybody for joining us today. I think this is, we've used the word unprecedented on a lot of the posts on social, and I think there's been a lot of buzz going around this because it really is the first time that we're bringing together, this many vendors in, kind of this broader category of email security, DNS, um, and anti-phishing. You don't usually get them all at once. And in the communities, Kevin, we talk about this all the time. The most common post in every MSP community is this vendor versus this vendor. And then people have a lot of chatter, but really they don't ever get a chance to hear from those vendors in one place at one time. So that's what we're bringing here
Correct.
today.
Yeah, look, and these topics, particularly email security, is near and dear, given my background. So it's great to see so many just leading solutions, and so many companies I'm familiar with. So this is going to be it's unprecedented. We've got this such a strong group of technologies all presenting together. So this should be a treat for everyone.
Yeah, and so many of you may be joining us for the first time, so I'll just go over some brief logistical things. This is your opportunity to hear from each vendor. They get 7 minutes to provide you an overview of what they're building out, what their problems they're solving, what their channel programs look like. Uh, you are actually attending anonymously, so there is a chat. I know some of you are already chatting in there, and actually, we always love the question: Where are you? Uh, Chiming in from today. Where are you? That's always nice to see. And that chat is just for MSPs, so vendors are not participating in that chat. So it is MSPs amongst themselves. If you have any questions for our moderator backstage, Erica and Caitlin, that'd be the moderator chat, and that'd be directly to them. In terms of questions, if you have questions for any of our actual participating vendors, we actually have breakout sessions after all of the different pitches have taken place. You'll have the opportunity to go into various rooms. You don't have to just stick to one. You can go in around, but it's your opportunity to ask those questions. That is the time you would ask those questions directly to them. And there's some really cool incentives that we'll go through throughout the day in terms of participating in some of those conversations. Today we do have 8 vendors. And it's again kind of broad category around email security, DNS, and anti-phishing. So we're super excited about that. After each presentation, there will be poll questions. You have about 2 minutes and 30 seconds to fill out those poll questions. Those are anonymous feedback. There is a question that asks if you'd like to engage with the vendor. That is you giving them permission to reach out. Maybe you want a product demo, maybe you want more sales information. That is your choice. Also, we have some pretty exciting stuff for participating in all the different polls. So we are offering a $15 Uber Eats gift card. Again, it does require you to participate in all the polls and attend the entire event. But we appreciate your time, and we wanted to provide lunch on us. And then we have a couple of questions that we're going to put up here right now, and it's pretty important feedback. Well, one's a feedback question. One is we've been talking about this for months. We do these things called channel meetings. You can think of them as a focus group. It's usually around 8 to 10 MSPs getting together, and it is a vendor speaking to them for about an hour. But it's not a direct sales pitch type of thing. It's actually them asking for your feedback on the programs that they build out, finding out how to message better to MSPs. So it's a chance for you to give back. It's a chance for the vendors to improve, what they're doing. And we do reward you with $100 gift card for your time. So for that poll, if you've already answered it before, you don't need to repeat. But if you are interested in participating, say yes to that poll. And then the second poll question that we're asking is around what features would you like to see in channel program? We get all kinds of feedback, but we want to ask you directly. I know and you can pick multiple options. There's going to be options for channel scripts, a central hub for script creation, sharing, and interaction, product comparison, the old side by side, very similar to like a Best Buy if you were comparing TVs, that capability, product updates, consolidating all the updates that are happening in the channel into a single source, an MSP job board. And then, of course, if you have any other suggestions, we are absolutely open to hearing about them. All right, Kevin, I did a lot of logistics there. Is there anything I missed or anything you would like to add?
Nope, I think you did well, and I think it's time to jump in. How about that?
Okay, that sounds good.
All right. Well, go ahead. You're going to say something?
No, I think you're doing the intro, so there you go.
All right, I'll do the intros. First off is Mr. Miles Walker, one of the more entertaining and most well-traveled individuals in the channel. Channel development manager at Graphis. Joined Graphis in 2020 after 15 years in sales and marketing and account management in London and Toronto. He's now based out on the West Coast in Vancouver, although he's dialing in from some remote part of Canada, which looks amazing in the background. I got a chance to see it. He's got an interesting professional career in radio as well as part of his background. And so take it away there, Mr. Miles.
Thank you, Kevin. And once again, sorry for the smoke getting down there to America. I speak on all Canadians and I say sorry to everyone about that wildfire smoke, but we got a lot to talk about. Graphis is the anti-phishing solution that you want to hear about. Thank you for the first spot of the day, which is great. So who are we and what do we do in the world of phishing? Join us in the breakout room for a chance to win a $150 Amazon gift card after this. So probably the question you're all asking, why are you in a ridiculous phishing outfit? Well, the reason why is that phishing for the third straight year is the #1 vector used by hackers to attack businesses. This is the time when you want to grab your phone because a lot of these slides you can use, you can take back photos with, and there's going to be some QR codes at the end as well. So phishing, like I said, third straight year, #1 vector used by hackers. But let's look at where small and medium-sized businesses spent their money in 2022. Email security. Over 50% of small and medium-sized businesses invested there. IT automation, ransomware protection, and AI and machine learning. Those are 4 pillars of the Graphis platform, and something that I think every business and business owner should know, that this is where people spent their money in 2022, and we're seeing that again for 2023. So a lot of people ask me, Miles, I'm gonna get this hat off right now because it's a little ridiculous. What's the relationship between ransomware and phishing? And it is actually a quite easy relationship to understand. And that is that 80% of all ransomware attacks involve some type of phishing email. So if you can stop those phishing emails getting through, you're going to stop ransomware. It's simple as that. So anytime I get to put Dwight Schrute in a presentation, I always will because I'm a big fan of The Office. So this past year was the first year that over 50% of attacks were actually against small and medium-sized businesses. So it used to be the large-scale enterprises, the Googles, the Coca-Colas, the Ciscos of the world, they're getting hit. But cyber criminals have evolved. They've gotten smarter. They've realized now that they're going to go after the low-hanging fruit. Small, medium-sized businesses don't have anti-phishing solutions. They don't have security awareness training in place. So we're going to hit them because it's easier to breach those businesses. And once again, you maybe have cyber insurance right now, but for 2024, a lot of those providers that are doing cyber insurance won't actually allow you to get cyber insurance unless you have an anti-phishing solution, you know, dark web ID or dark web monitoring place and security awareness training. So let's talk a little bit about Graphis because that's what I'm here today to talk about. I only got 4.5 minutes left. So our mission is to simplify and automate phishing defense. We're a US-based company founded in 2015, and we're super proud that we've seen 300% year-on-year growth. We integrate with Microsoft 365 and Google Workspace. And you can see some of our awards there in the bottom left-hand corner, some of the awards we've taken home. And we're really proud that we're one of the most awarded anti-phishing solutions in the channel. You can see the platform right there. We'll dive into that in a bit. But some key words about the Graphis solution. We're simple, we're powerful, and we're automated. Jumping to the next slide. So why do customers around the globe love us? Like I said, simple, powerful, and automated solution. And we're often priced less than 30% than our competitors. That's a big one because cash is king these days. Easy to scale for G Suite and Office 365 or Microsoft 365. And we do a lot of integrations, not only with our own Kaseya products, but with a lot of products across the board. And lastly, when you're bringing on a new solution, no rule changes, no changing MX records, and we're easy to install. We can usually get up and running within about an hour. So what we're really selling here at Graphis, we're selling peace of mind. We're 60% more effective than a traditional secure email gateway or an SEG, and we look after your business while you're working and while you're away. And at the end of the day, what we're doing, we're stopping 99% of all phishing attacks, and we're constantly learning through that AI. AI is the future of email security. We've talked about that in the past. I've talked about that in a lot of my talks. If I haven't spoken to you in the past, this is something I'm talking more and more about now. So the 4 things we do at Graphis: cost savings, improve cybersecurity posture, greater cyber resilience. And what we're doing is we're stopping those phishing emails getting to the employees. That's something that is super important to us and super important to the company. If we're looking at the actual solution itself, Phish 911 is our alert. Suspicious or unwanted emails get blocked. Employee Shield is our most visual layer of defense. I'll show you a picture about that 2 slides after this. And we look at suspicious emails there. And automatic quarantine, that's where we block malicious emails coming through. So Trust Graph, that is our AI. That is our secret sauce. We look at 50 different attributes on each email. Then we decide, does that email actually get through to the end user? If it's poor or very poor, it doesn't. If it's good or excellent, it does. I was mentioning the Employee Shield. This is our most visual layer of defense. You'll be using this every week in your business. You can actually see what the potential phishing attack is. You can actually click on report phishing or click on report false positive. And what that does, it actually alerts the system to know, is this a trusted sender or not? And lastly, Phish 911, reporting suspicious emails. We automatically quarantine. We analyze that threat, and the IT team can actually go back and dive in and see if they want to re-release that email if they think it is an email that's legitimate, of course. This is something that we're really proud of. So we can report an email from anywhere, and we'll quarantine it everywhere. I know, Matt and Kevin are at the beach today, and they're on the East Coast. So if they wake up in the morning, they see a phishing email, they can actually hit that button, report a phishing email, and then all the other emails in that company will be pulled, whether they're in Denver, Sacramento. Maybe they've woken up and they don't even see that email because it's already been hit as a report phishing button. So that's something that's super powerful. That's something super unique to our solution as well. Here's what the Graphis platform looks like. It's clean, it's crisp, it's easy to use, and easy to report on back to your clients or customers. When we're talking about workflow integrations, whether it's with ID Agent, IT Glue, Rocket Cyber, BMS, we have integrations with a lot of the different solutions that we have under our umbrella. That's something super important because you're not spending time jumping back and forth. Because of those integrations, you can move quickly within the different solutions. Lastly, grab your phone out if you can. This is some info on me right here. Like Matt and Kevin said, I'm based up in Canada. Please do add me up on LinkedIn. I post a lot of content that you can share all about cybersecurity, and we would love to connect up with you. And lastly, if something here has resonated with you, that's great. We would love for more information to be sent over, request a demo. Anti-phishing solution. If you don't have an anti-phishing solution in place right now, you're most likely going to have one in the next 12 to 24 months. So start doing your research. I'm not saying you have to go with Graphis, but you definitely have to see what anti-phishing solutions are out there and what makes sense for your business. This is probably the most important thing that's affecting cybersecurity right now, which is phishing emails. So you need to have yourself and your business protected. Matt and Kevin, I think that's about 7 minutes on the dot. Back over to you.
Perfect. Yes, it was right on the dot. All right.
Well
so you should have a poll coming up. Again, you'll have about 2 minutes, 30 seconds-ish to fill out those polls. And by the way, if you ever run into Miles on the road, there's a game I usually like to play because he was in the tourism industry. If you just name any city in the world, he will have a pretty amazing story to tell you. It's quite fun to play with him. He knows everybody in the world somehow. So, all right.
So you're saying is it 7 degrees, 6 degrees, 7 degrees of Miles Walker? Is that what it is?
Yeah, six. I think it's 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon.
6 degrees.
So,
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Good deal. Thanks. Very good. So Matt, we've got a lot of big things brewing here, don't we?
We do. Where would you like to start? Are you going to be nicer to me this time? I think there was a lot of people who were like, what's going on with these guys? They don't seem to like each other.
I thought that was part of the persona, part of the shtick. So I was just
Yeah,
trying to play into
you
it.
just
But
took it a little too seriously last time, but yes.
all right, I'll dial it back. Sorry.
So yeah, we'll talk about some updates since we've already taken up a little bit of time here. But we always like to kind of talk about some of the upcoming events in the industry. Um, I know the biggest one coming up for the industry as a whole is CompTIA's ChannelCon in August, and so maybe I'll ask this to the audience if you're planning on attending ChannelCon in, I believe it's in Las Vegas in August. So that's going to be hot.
Yeah. Las Vegas in August. 110, 115, something like that.
Yeah, something like that. So
Yeah. Yeah. But it'll be good. I mean, that's obviously a massive event. There's 400-ish vendors, I think. That might be a little high, but yeah, ton of vendors, and yeah, I think this should be a good event for everybody.
yeah, definitely. And I know I'll be attending a seven-figure MSP event in Chicago as well in August. So that's actually a fun time to be in Chicago. So that should be good.
Yeah. Yeah, July's kind of a quiet month in general for the industry, right? There's maybe a couple small little road shows, but yeah, for the most part, July is pretty quiet.
Yes. And Kevin, there is a way for you to stay up to date on all events and webinars and lunch and learns and whatnot in our industry calendar. It's the most comprehensive calendar in the space. So, anyways, but we do have some cool updates, and I'll share that later about the industry calendar. We made it a little sexier, and we've got some really pretty cool updates in some future releases around the industry
Yes, we
calendar.
do.
So we will get into that, but I think we can move on to our second speaker, and I'll let you do the intro.
Thank you. This is Mr. Brett Cheloff, Senior Vice President of Product and Engineering at Zorus. For the entirety of his career, Brett has been immersed in the IT and managed services field. He's 1/4 of the leadership team at Zorus, which was founded in 2017 by former Datto executives with a track record of building and deploying enterprise-grade technologies for small and mid-sized businesses. Take it away, Brett.
Awesome, thank you, and love being here. Love being able to have the opportunity to just talk with MSPs, to kind of touch on who I am a little bit. Brett Cheloff, I was one of the original developers for LabTech, which is now referred to as ConnectWise Automate. I was doing that from 2004 up until early last year. Took a jump from ConnectWise and came over to what I thought was really cool technology that will help MSPs mature their business, not only from a security standpoint, but from a meaningfulness standpoint. I learned a lot at ConnectWise on, the MSPs encouraging their customers to grow and mature is very key, and I'll touch on that. So what is Zorus? Zorus is effectively your first line of defense for your customers. If that email does get through and we need to make sure that the link that they do click on doesn't get through, we're that next layer of defense for you. So we are a DNS filter. We're not like your traditional DNS filter. And I want to make sure that, I kind of go into the technology a little bit, because what you're used to with DNS filters are you're actually changing out your DNS server. You're changing the address. You're doing this either at the router level or the gateway level, the edge device. You're doing it at the device itself. And when you're changing out DNS, this can cause a lot of problems when it comes to being able to resolve properly if you're running around in hotels and airports and such for your customers. And typically those devices move now. A lot of people work from home. You can't necessarily install firewalls at their house that get pretty expensive. And being able to keep those devices safe, whether they're home, whether they're on the run, whether they're in the office, without requiring hardware or VPN or anything like that connected, that's what our goal was at Zorus. So, and that's what we've done. We're a device-based endpoint that will filter out all the traffic without touching the network at all. We do everything before DNS can resolve, which then allows the network to just do whatever it needs to do. This provides additional layers of security as well when you think about, okay, well, I do want to do it at the network layer as well. you can use that as, you know, a secondary filter. But if that device moves, we got to keep that device safe. And that's what's really driven, you know, the growth of this technology and keeping moving devices safe. And I think what's important is everyone knows DNS filtering, but when you think about how MSPs have evolved over time, of automation, especially at ConnectWise Automate, it was all about creating more efficiency with your customers. Spending less time with them means more profit from them, right? Because as an MSP, you're charging one fee, all you can eat. If your tech is spending a whole bunch of time with them, you're actually losing money on that customer, which drives into the scenario of, okay, I onboard a new customer, I set them up, I'm having issues initially, but once they're on your tech stack, once they're working, you kind of go dark on them. And then they end up coming to you saying, hey, what exactly do you do here? I got to justify this $1,500 a month I'm spending with you. I never talked to you. I don't know, kind of what value am I getting? And so this created this whole prove your worth, and that resulted in, the VCIO strategies, QBR strategies, sitting with your customers, going through data and saying, hey, this is what we're doing for you. This is why you pay us. Even though you don't see us a lot, that was the whole plan. We wanted your uptime to be good. You can just run your business. But now they're asking more. And I think, as any channel vendor should do, we should be empowering you with data to go to your customers with those insights and help them grow. Traditional DNS filters will show you reports around how many times a certain site was hit or a domain was hit. So apple.com, 588,000 times. What does that actually mean? You sitting with your customer telling them, oh yeah, you hit these domains this many times. Well, that you can't really make actionable changes within your business off of that. And what is the biggest expense to a business? Typically, it's employees' time and compensation. So how can we help, using that data, create better reporting for your customers to get data-driven insights into their business and how they're operating? And this is how we're taking DNS to the next level, is to be able to say, hey, did you know? Yeah, 588,000 clicks, great. Well, you have 10 users on HubSpot for 3 weeks of time over the last month, over the last quarter, over the last year, whatever it might be. Is this where you expect time to be going in your business? This allows for meaningful conversations around time management, license management. We're potentially going into rough waters when it comes to the economy. They might be looking for opportunities to cut costs, and you could pull back licenses. You have full visibility of what apps they're using, web apps, what thick client applications they're using. Traditionally, RMM tools will tell you what's installed, but it won't tell you what's being used. And this will tell you what users using it, how long they're using it for, to give you those insights you need, and then be able to sit with your customers and make meaningful decisions around, their filtering policy. Like, hey, social media sites, this category is, a lot of time. Would you like to add that as part of your filtering policy? You will guaranteed to get 50 hours back into your week, back into your month, whatever it might be. And you can translate that directly into, value to them. And where we can go with that data is, because that's helping you create better relationships with your customers. But from a security perspective, you can use that same data to understand insider threats, and they're on the rise. And there's a pretty big gap when it comes to like user behavioral analytics and understanding like, what was this user doing? And we can do that for you as well. When a threat happens and somebody's been breached, you can immediately rule out the user, because we can say, this is what the user was doing. This is what they were looking at that time. This is what they were doing leading up to that. It was not their fault. This is obviously something else. Traditional EDR tools will just give you inter-process issues where, this will tell you what that user's doing to rule them out. So we own filtering, we own engagement. So now we know, okay, this is what the user's doing. Where can we go with this? Well, this is where we're going. We're going into a place where we can detect through machine learning what anomalous behavior is happening and say, this is not that person. We are going to isolate down the device and only allow your RMM traffic to go through. So that way you can remotely see what's going on. Here's what's happening. Here's what the user's doing. They might be stealing data. They might be doing something malicious. They might have been breached and someone's logged in using tools they've never used before, which is bad. Isolate them.
Brett, sorry to interrupt. it's kind of your wrap up time, which looks like you're getting there. So
Yeah, man. Yeah, I got it. I'm done. I'm done. So yeah, join us in the breakout. Appreciate your time. If you join us, you have a chance to win a Yeti. That's it.
excellent. Thanks, Brett. Appreciate it.
Yep.
All right. So we should have the polls going up here, so you can fill out that information. Kevin, when he brought up the Bob slide from Office Space, I was like, yeah, what does Kevin do around here? I'm just kidding.
What would you say you do?
Yeah. But all kidding aside, you have a vision as the CEO of where we're headed. And I know we get asked that question a lot. And I think we have some pretty exciting things moving forward, and wanted to kind of give you the stage to talk a little bit about that.
Oh, throwing it back on me. Well played.
Well,
No, this is great. Yeah, so the vision, we've talked about this in past Engage events, but the vision is to create this unified universe and greater connectivity between the channel and the vendor. So in roughly 4 weeks' time, we will be launching My Stack, which will be a really interesting drag and drop interactive capability. So as an MSP, I can go in and find all the vendors that I work with. I can add them to different areas of my stack. I think we're going to start with 30 or 32 different technology areas that you can pull your vendors in, and it'll show you the gaps within your stack. It'll show you the strength of your stack based on the product reviews that we're receiving. We're just under 3,000 product reviews now. So this will be, I think, really innovative for the MSPs to actually visualize their stack and then really easily click into their vendor and chat with their vendors, the ones that are leveraging the marketplace or their PRM functionality. So it's all about making it easier. I saw today we've got another 50 inquiries in the platform for the vendors that have turned on the PRM, which is great. 56, I think the number is. So we're getting well down the path of creating that greater connectivity between the vendor and the channel. That way, everybody can take the conversation off of Reddit and make it more constructive within the platform, and that's the goal. That's one of the big goals. Do you want to add anything to that?
Well, I just think it also just gives greater visibility for the employees of an organization. I don't think everybody realizes who are all the different vendors they're working with. Obviously, we'll get into eventually the technicians being able to really have the contacts, the key contacts for each one of those vendors as we continue to scale it out. So, I think having all of your employees aware of the different vendors you're working with, I think, gives that visibility, and it's fun. Who doesn't want to visualize their stack?
Yes. I'll talk about the origins of the stack and one of the features. I know one of our presenters is a big F1 Formula, or F1 fan. So that was one of the origins behind this interactive drop and drag. But moving on.
Yep.
So our third vendor present from Channel Gauge is Christopher Marquez, Channel Director, MSSP at Iron Skills. Christopher joined Iron Skills in November with more than 18 years of experience in channel sales. He's responsible for developing the MSSP channel at Iron Skills, which touts itself as the future of phishing protection. Christopher, you're up.
Well, so Christopher is not on video and appears to be on mute. So Christopher, are you there?
Hey,
yes, you are there.
Because I had a little bit of confusion. I thought I was going fourth. And then
Okay.
Dad's in the background 1 second. I think someone's at the 1 second, guys.
All right.
All right. Sorry for the delay.
No problem. Your time has not started. I will, once you get your screen share up, I will put it on and then we'll start.
Yep, coming up right now.
All right, excellent.
All right, can you guys see me?
Yep, you are good to go, my friend.
Perfect. Well, as they mentioned, my name is Christopher Marcus. I've been working in the channel on the vendor and distribution side of the house for the better part of a decade, and at this point in time, working with MSPs day in and day out. And so that being said, without further ado, I will present to you the Iron Scales starting lineup. At point guard, let's see. Coming to you from Machine Learning University, Artificial Intelligence. At power forward, out of Threat Hunting U, Advanced Malware, aka URL Protection. At small forward, out of Credential Theft University, we announce computer vision, also known as fake login page protection. At center, out of Make It Easy on Yourself U, automated incident response. At shooting guard, coming to you from Trick and Educate University, security and awareness training plus phishing simulations. And last but not least, coming to you from communities around the world, Human Insights. All right, well, thanks for bearing with me there. But every player I just mentioned and others that are part of our stack and what we do here at Iron Scales plays a huge part in what Gartner would call our MSOR, or message security, orchestration, automation, and response strategy. That is actually powered by our AI Themis, which you, the MSP, has complete control over. Iron Scales prevents known and unknown attacks in the environment by detecting threats with not only malicious content, but malicious intent. Then we respond to these attacks by quarantining them everywhere within that organization, all while learning from these attacks in order to predict the attacks of tomorrow. When it comes to email, we really look at the market in three different ways: pre-delivery, on-delivery, and post-delivery. Pre-delivery would be your traditional SEGs, your secure email gateways, which were really invented in a day where our primary concern was to stop viruses looking to cause more technological damage. You would need to put a SEG in front of the email flow because you needed to introduce some artificial delay in order to give them time to check against known threat databases and then remediate from there if it was a match. A couple downsides to this model is that delays are inherent into the design, and if the SEG has an outage, then it will disable all mail flow to the entire client organization. And how much downtime can your clients really afford? And so what made more sense for us when developing Iron Scales is to go the on-delivery route. We actually tap in and utilize Microsoft's Graph API, so there is no need for MX record changes, mail routing rules to change, and we can be set up in less than 5 minutes. As mail comes through, we have a webhook feed from Microsoft that proactively notifies us whenever that mail comes through, and then within milliseconds, we are actually scanning it for multiple different criteria. As you know, there's 50 to 100 pieces of criteria that we're scanning for immediately. And if we identify that it's malicious, we will go ahead and rip it out and quarantine that message from the environment, not only from that user, but from every single user at one time, because our ability to cluster attacks. Now, time weaponization attacks are where a URL is not harmful when it passes through it's not innocuous when it comes into the inbox, but after a period of time, 10 minutes, an hour, they weaponize. Those are real problems for pre-delivery and on-delivery services. And so what we've done at Iron Scales is also incorporate great post-delivery controls, one of which is our recursive URL scanner. And our scanners, being at the mailbox level, they actually allow us to continuously monitor for these type of weaponized attacks and rip them out of the environment the second that they become malicious. And so there are also other products that focus completely on post-delivery controls that are 100% based on users. We also incorporate this type of post-delivery control at Iron Scales and utilize our community of over 10,000 clients, 10,000 organizations globally, millions of mailboxes to provide us a strong feedback loop. We also have that report phishing button, and our human insights integrate with our AI to help prevent zero-day attacks. So in the event that a member of our community, of our SOC analyst team globally, marks something as phishing, it goes to our AI, and then she starts searching for similar footprints, for similar anomalous activity within those environments. Now, the evolution of the email security space is basically like this. Secure email gateways, there's ICAS Generation 1s, and ICAS is an integrated cloud email security platform. And then there's IronScales. We offer 3 layers of defense. We have AI-based plus human insights. We have orchestrated automation and remediation. And then we have an integrated phishing simulation training and security and awareness training platform that work all in conjunction with each other. Now, when it comes to phishing, we all know that remediating email incidents is time consuming and it's expensive. This is the typical process. It usually takes about 30 minutes for an analyst to go in and do what we can do in under a minute. We will give you all of the information that you need to make an educated decision on whether or not that piece of mail needs to be quarantined, it needs to be marked safe, or if it's spam. And you can see the cost difference here, which is very, very significant. Now, when it comes to compliance and cyber insurance, Miles, you kind of covered a lot of this for me, and I appreciate all the statistics there from my friends at Graphis as well. But as he mentioned, security and awareness training is huge. By 2024, it is going to be mandatory. It is a checkbox right now. And so this is how we can help you not only maintain compliance, but qualify for cyber insurance. Here at IronScales, we also do what's called a 90-day scam back. We can give you the leverage that you need to show your clients what its existing solution is missing and help you sell downstream. We also have 30-day trials in place. And last but not least, we will be giving away a $15 Amazon gift card to the first 10 people who join our breakout session. So thank you for joining me. I'm excited to hear what everyone else has to say today. Thank you, Channel Program, for putting this on. You guys are awesome.
Awesome, man. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right. So the poll should be coming up. All right. All right. So actually, I think that Chicago Bulls thing is something I totally would have done. I actually enjoyed that. I think it's always fun taking a chance and having a little fun, especially in a virtual environment. Anyway, so now I'm going to shift gears completely and kind of pre-announce something that we did last year under the guise of title or called Holidays, and we're calling it Channel Days of Summer this go around. And I think Caitlin backstage is going to put an early registration link for it. It is just a give back type of activity where 30 vendors come together. We required a minimum of $500 gift for each vendor. So we're talking at least $16,000 in prizes for MSPs to win. And so what we'll do we'll do a drawing over 10 days. So every day we'll do 2 prizes. So there'll be 2 individual winners. And then on the last day, I think we have 3 or 4 grand prizes winners as well. So there'll be tons of different prizes. I'll have to pull up some of the examples. I know there's some like $500 travel vouchers, like a Delta travel voucher, Airbnb voucher for $500. I know Paul Green is giving away $1,000 cash. So there's some pretty amazing prizes. So if you're interested in winning some of those, definitely register. I think last time we had 2,200 MSPs participate. So it's just a lot of fun. And we actually do a live show, a live StreamYard. It's not in the platform. It's just on LinkedIn and Facebook on the socials. We do a live drawing every day, so there's no shenanigans. We do the wheel spinning live on the air. So definitely register for that, or just keep an eye out from all the participating vendors that'll be promoting it. So pretty cool, Kevin. It's a lot of really amazing prizes.
It is a lot of amazing prizes. Yeah, I mean, it was a success in the fall, and I know Caitlin's done this in the past, different flavors, different types of approaches. But yeah, this was a fantastic success for partners in the fall, and we're looking for an even bigger success for the summer. It's a good way to pass the summertime blues, right? Why not?
Yeah.
Why not do it with prizes,
Yeah,
fun
and again,
prizes?
minimum $500 value prize on every drawing. So that's pretty amazing, really unheard of in this space. So, all right, Kevin, let's introduce our next speaker.
Our next speaker is Brian Pavel, Vice President of Marketing at Vade. He'll be our fourth presenter. Brian joined Vade last June after 17 years at Intel and brings more than 25 years of experience in the B2B, B2C technology marketing. Brian oversees all of Vade's marketing touch points as they strive to be the global leader in threat detection and response with more than 1 billion protected mailboxes globally. You're up, Brian.
Thank you, Kevin. Thanks everyone for having us. So I'm going to talk to you about Vade for M365. It's an AI-based email cybersecurity solution that we've purpose-built for MSPs, and I'll talk a little bit about what exactly that means. Just in case you have not heard of Vade, we are a global company, offices and customers all over the world, been around for almost 15 years now. In North America, we're selling exclusively through the channel, and actually much of Europe we sell through the channel as well. We currently protect over almost 1.5 billion mailboxes, which gives us access to an unprecedented amount of data that feeds our AI engine. So we're looking at over 100 billion emails daily. And we'll talk a little bit about that AI engine here in a second. But it's not just the AI engine. We're also using information reported by users, as well as we have a cyber threat and intelligence research team that is out there doing scientific things, trying to figure out what the next attack is going to be or how they're going to do it. Because I think all of you are aware that we are well past the days of a poorly written phishing email with bad grammar, bad English, and hacked up logos. Spear phishing in particular has gotten very, very sophisticated, and solutions need to stay on top of it, constantly looking and trying to anticipate what the next threat is going to be. Now, I know a lot of you hear AI, and it becomes a buzzword and your eyes probably roll back in your head, but Vade has a very unique part of our business. We also have technology that we protect for the largest internet service providers in the world. So Comcast, Yahoo, over in Europe, Orange, British Telecom, Telefonica, NTT Docomo in Japan. And what sets us apart and makes this really unique, and why we have 1.4 billion mailboxes protected, is because of our internet service provider business. And an AI engine, as good as the algorithms are, is only as good as the data you can feed into that algorithm, so it can constantly learn and adapt. And having all the data that we have allows us to catch things faster and sooner than a lot of others. So that's a unique part about our business. But what we've done then is taken that powerful AI engine that is trusted by the world's largest internet service providers, and we've built a purpose-built product called Vade for M365 specifically for MSPs. So the solution Vade for M365 is for Microsoft 365. If you are selling Google Workspace, we will have a product later this year that supports that. I won't be talking about that today, but let us know if you're interested. We use that product to catch phishing, malware, spear phishing. Some of you may be using Microsoft Defender and saying, hey, that's good enough. Internal benchmarks, we've seen up to 14 times more malicious emails that we catch on top of Microsoft. I think, as you've already heard from some of the speakers, an added layer of email security is critical in today. We've purpose-built this product for MSPs with time savings, ease of use, management of multiple clients as key design principles to make it easier for you to use. And then we also have automated contextual phishing awareness training that is standard with our product. It is not an upsell or an add-on. So high level, this is kind of what it looks like. It is an API integration within Microsoft 365. So you're not dealing with MX record redirects and that type of thing. Your users are just using native Microsoft client. There's nothing new for them to learn. And we also have post-delivery automated remediation. So if something does get through, we see it automatically we can remediate that email even if it had previously been delivered to someone's inboxes. Now, I mentioned purpose-built for MSPs in 7 minutes. I could never go through all of the features that includes, but I wanted to highlight one that we get a lot of good feedback on. What you're seeing here is reported emails. So your users at your clients reported an email and either phishing or spam. As you can see over on the right-hand side, we actually cluster these. So this isn't just some horrible log that you have to sort through, but we cluster them together. Say one of these is you say, yes, this is phishing. We need to quarantine this, get rid of this. In one single screen with one single click, you can remediate that email across all of your clients. So if you have 25 different clients, you don't go through 25 different tenants to do that. You do that from one console within Vade with a single click of the button. So why would we love to talk to you, and why do I think you should be interested in Vade? As I said, we have AI filtering technology that's trusted by the world's largest ISPs, but we've purpose-built the product for MSPs, so you spend less time managing your email security, more time doing things like growing your business. Email security provides you an opportunity to grow revenue streams. We do offer free training and certification, though the product is very easy to use. It does not need to be intense training. And then finally, we have MDF opportunities as well. So if you come visit us to learn more in our breakout session, we are going to raffle off a $500 Amazon gift card. And of course, you can go to vade.com to start a free trial, NFR, or get a demo. Over to you, Matt.
Excellent. Thanks, Brian. All right, the polls should be going up. Kevin, you're on mute. There you go. All right. So I saw a bunch of people signing up for channel days. So awesome. Thank you for doing that. Kevin, you know, we didn't talk about PAX 8 Beyond. You know, we attended that inaugural event. So I don't know if you want to provide some feedback on thoughts on that event, and I can chime in as well.
Look, I know they originally had tried to do that event in 2020. Obviously, the reasons why that couldn't occur. But for their first, major event, I think Rob and Ryan and the team, I think they knocked the ball out of the park. I mean, it was packed. I think they had 1,100 MSPs there, maybe 1,500-1,600 people total, and they did a fantastic job. I mean, it felt like it was action packed the entire time, and for their first really big event, again, I don't think they could have gone any better.
Yeah, I mean, again, I didn't get a chance to attend every educational thing, but just from the optics of it, I mean, it felt big. I mean, the LCD screen that they invested in, I mean, that alone was just, it blew your mind when you first walked into that event. And whoever the people are on their team that do video, that was next level. I mean, it kind of got your hairs on your arm rising, just because it just kind of pumped you up for being in the industry as a whole. So yeah, that was neat. And of course, given that Rob was running it, there's always the fun surprise things, and I'd say the biggest surprise was Nelly the Rapper, not Nelly Furtado, because there were some rumors that Nelly Furtado was going to be the performer, but Nelly the Rapper performed, and we didn't just get 10 minutes. So Snoop Dogg a couple years ago at DattoCon did 10 minutes. Nelly put on essentially a private 1-hour concert for us. So that was unlike anything I think I've ever seen at an event. So that was pretty neat.
Yeah, definitely well played. They did a great job on that event. No doubt about it. I think their partners left pretty jazzed up. I think they've got a lot of interesting things they're doing with their platform. They're using a lot of AI and kind of getting to the point where they're predicting next solutions that you should bring to your customers. And so it'll be interesting to watch them as that platform progresses over the next year, just to see how sophisticated that's going to be. It sounds like they're dumping a lot of money into building that thing out and
Yep.
creating a great experience. So very good.
For sure. And just a couple quick reminders before we go on to our next speaker. If you're an MSP and you're participating in the polls, you are eligible for the $15 Uber Eats gift card. We'll put up a poll question at the end to say if you would like to receive that. And again, the breakout sessions are after all of the different events. Your screen will change and you'll be able to jump into each different breakout. We'll recap all the different special things that people are offering, but stay tuned for that at the very end. All right, so Kevin, why don't you introduce our next speaker?
Our next speaker is Sean Morris, the CTO of Titan HQ. Sean joined Titan HQ in 2020 after more than 17 years at Fidelity Investments, where he led technology enablement on a global scale. Sean runs all aspects of Titan HQ's technology and product stack, as well as its security strategy. The organization was founded in 1999 and secures more than 8,500 businesses and 2,500 MSPs in 150 countries. You're up, Sean.
Great. Thanks, Kevin. So just checking, can you guys see my screen?
You're good to go.
Okay. Great. Hi, everybody. As Kevin just said, I'm Sean Morris. I'm the Chief Technology Officer at Titan HQ, a 30-year technology veteran. Unfortunately, the years are knocking on a bit, but loads of I suppose experience built up from that. And I'm speaking to you from Ireland, where we're not contributing smoke to anyone at the moment, from what I can tell. We're an MSP-centric cloud-based security provider, and really our entire I suppose focus is building products for MSPs to deliver to your customers, to SMBs. So I'm going to give you a rundown on what we do, a little bit about our product set, and how we partner with all of you, and really want to focus on all aspects of that. I think it's really interesting to understand. So super quick, a little bit of an overview about us. We're around over 20 years. We've been crafting the art of protecting our customers for a long time. It's an evolving art, of course, and we're getting better and better at it. And it's one that's a super focus for us and a really serious business, right? It's critical to us, in fact. We're based in Galway, in Ireland, as well as in Connecticut and in Shelton, and really focus on, not just delivery security, but ensuring we're really compliant as part of that from a SOC 2 perspective. Big focus on support as part of this. I'll talk a bit more later on about how we kind of make sure we support you very actively as a customer. That's a key part of the offering, above and beyond the security component as well. We have a lot of MSP partners, almost 3,000. Over 12,000 clients in total globally, and we support lots of mailboxes and filter lots of web traffic, and we do all of that based on a very large and sophisticated threat intelligence armory that we use to protect all of our customers. So a little bit about them. I mean, you've heard some great stats already. I think that there's no shortage of stats out there for people to draw on. But I thought the first one here, was the most important one. I mean, our job is protect against the threats that matter most. And the first line here is the most important statistic. One way or the other, 95% of breaches start with human error behavior. And that's the thing that I think we all have to dwell on when we think about, well, what are we going to do to protect our customers? And ultimately, the end user is the most critical part of that and the critical success factor. So our goal is to help you protect your customers from all these threats, expensive and significant threats. Phishing, business email compromise, malware, and ransomware, they all represent a massive, significant physical threat to your customers. And I mean, and one of I suppose the most startling stats that I've seen of late is that, if a small business is attacked successfully, at least 60% of those will go out of business within 6 months. So this is life or death from a business perspective. And really, there's so much components to that. There's the words, the social engineering aspect, the URLs and emails, the graphics attachments. There's so many aspects, so many potential vectors to consider from a business email compromise perspective. And we have all of that covered with our offering. So how do we do that? So we bring basically a best-in-class cybersecurity platform to you that combines to give you the sort of coverage that you need to really deliver that solution in an MSP-centric way, right? And what does it include? It includes Spam Titan and Spam Titan Plus, which really deliver advanced phishing protection, AI driven, with, you know, it's really 0-day threat intel driven as well. We also include multi-layer malware and ransomware detection and protection as part of that solution. We also protect from malicious web threats and attacks with Web Titan, and that's not just in the office, that's a roaming solution with Windows, Mac and Chromebook agents as well as part of that. So we cover all aspects from a remote, hybrid and on-site perspective from a Web Titan point of view. In addition, we provide really sophisticated security awareness training with Safe Titan, and that's really important to powering your human layer of protection, which is really a critical part of the security process. And finally, we just call out ArcTitan. You know, an email archiving and backup solution is also a critical pillar of any you know, good security solution. And we really get managed service providers. I think it's important, you know, to recognize that you're special and you need things different. You need them to be focused on your business and how your business works. So I think I'd call out, you know, 5 things here that are super important from what we hear from talking to MSPs for decades now. First of all, efficiency, right? Efficiency is at the core of how a good MSP operates, because it plays straight to both your effectiveness in sort of running your business, your profitability, but also your ability to effectively support your customers and your client base, right? So our solutions are built from a security perspective to be really easy to use and manage, right? The partnership is absolutely critical from a sales and marketing perspective. All our products are white labelable, but also from a support perspective. If you need to talk to us, you get us on the phone and we answer every call, right? That's a key metric for us as a business, right? Margin, we optimize how we actually sell to you to ultimately deliver something that's profit making for you. And that's a key part of how we operate. Security is table stakes in this business, right? We see best in class security is fundamental, and that's why we've been in business for so long and so successfully. And finally, we don't bring any one solution to market. We bring a platform of solutions to market that are built around a multi-tenancy MSP console, and that's what really brings the value from the perspective of ease of use from your perspective. I'm making a big announcement here today, so I'm delighted you're all here to hear this. We're announcing our next new product, Phish Titan, the next generation of anti-phishing for MSPs and SMBs. And, you know, just to call out some of the key things here, it's a major leap forward from an anti-phishing perspective. And beyond all of that, really the key things to call out is it is a multi-tenant post-delivery remediation, and it's M365 integrated. So it really is that one click, you're live and you're ready to go and protect your customers. Just to wrap up with the last couple of points here, our webinars are every week. If you want to learn about our products and expand your knowledge every week, you can talk to us and you can learn about the products. It's directly with our product engineering team. So a great way to learn quickly. And our customers today really love them. You should sign up and see for yourself. We're trusted by numerous large MSPs and large brands all over the world. And in fact, Medicus, who are a huge MSP in the US, have just joined us. We're delighted to have them on board. So final points, pricing model, it's tiered. The more you buy, the bigger your discount. And we bring all of the usual things from an NF4 perspective and trial perspective as well to the table. And the very last point, come to our breakout room and we'll provide you with 3 major incentives. First, book and attend the demo and get a $150 rather, or you can have a Euro one if you want, depending on where you are, Amazon gift card, free lifetime NF4 licenses. And final point, your first month of buying the product is free. That's all margin to you to come on board and join us. And with that, I'll hand back to Matt.
Excellent. Thank you very much, Sean. All right.
World exclusive. We had a product announcement. That's great.
Yeah. So polls should be up. Go ahead and fill those out. All right, Kevin. Any certain directions you want to go here? Like I said, I don't trust I don't trust the Wi-Fi here, but I'm going to try something potentially here. I wanted to share a bit on the industry calendar. I'll just share my screen for 1 second. So we just updated this, and now you can kind of see it's a little sexier. It's got images now, but this is a place for MSPs and vendors really to find out anything that's happening in the channel on a given day. It is the most consolidated industry calendar because it does go down to the webinar level, the lunch and learns, the demo days, anything you want to know, you're able to kind of find on here. You can go, of course, look into the future, see what events are happening in the given months, and there's live links to register for any of those events that are taking place. So definitely check that out. We send out an email every Monday telling you actually what's happening this week in the channel. So it keeps you abreast on what it's going on. And then in kind of the future updates, you're going to start being able to, I think probably by the end of the summer, be able to sort by like region, city. You'll actually be able to say, I'm interested in these webinars in the future. So again, that you would stay on top of them. Maybe you forget about some of them because we know there's a lot going on in this industry. So being able to kind of manage it will make it a little easier for you. So that is the updates on the industry calendar, Kevin.
That's great. Now, when we send out that newsletter, we send out that newsletter, we get hundreds and hundreds of click-throughs, especially the one that we have a featured event every month or every week. So that featured event gets a lot of action, which is great. But to Matt's point, this is the most comprehensive calendar, down to that lunch and learn kind of regional lunch and learn level. So we'll have some really interesting interactive mapping with this calendar at some point, probably, as Matt mentioned, September, maybe on into early Q4. So stay tuned for that.
Yeah, and since you set it up, I'll go ahead and plug it because I know you're talking to the vendors when you say this. But yeah, that featured event of the week, we've been seeing, well, one, it goes out to over 7,000 MSPs, but it also generates between 185 and 300 click-throughs to your webinars. So that is a paid opportunity if you want to be the featured event of the week. So got to be part of the platform to do it, though. So if you're a vendor out there and you're not part of channel program, you are absolutely missing out on that industry calendar capability. So, all right, Kevin, let's keep it moving.
Getting good with the plugs. All right, keeping it moving. And what better presenter to introduce next than Miss Michelle Ragusa McBain, VP of North America Channels for now SonicWall. If you don't know, you should know. Michelle is globally recognized thought leader in the technology channel. Prior to joining SonicWall this spring, she spent more than a decade as a channel evangelist with Cisco. She brings her knack for influential strategic communications to SonicWall, an award-winning security vendor focused on next-generation network protection and threat detection for small and medium-sized businesses. Michelle, you are up.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Kevin. I'm so excited to be here. I'm going to set a clock so I can try to keep account of myself. But I'm a New Yorker and I'm known to speak fast. So I am joining you today from sunny Florida, and it is actually pouring rain. So Miles, I could love to borrow your raincoat. That would be delightful. As Kevin mentioned, I am the channel chief at SonicWall, and I'm so excited to be there and to present today at Channel Program with all of these lovely gentlemen. So as you know, there's a lot going on in the world today. We have war, we have trade disputes, we have economic recessions, political instability. There's a lot going on. And here's some of the mega trends, right? Everything's going digital, everything's going sustainable, everything's intelligent, and everything's secure, or is it? And so many of you may know the name SonicWall. We've been around for about 32 years. We have about 2,000 employees headquartered in Milpitas, California, but we're global. We have 300 patents and 3 million firewall ships. So many of you may know us for that product, but we have a vast portfolio of cybersecurity, and we're going to talk about that in just a bit. So if you don't know, SonicWall is 100% through channel. We are committed to our partners in the SMB space, and we're evolving our Secure First program. And I'll tell you a little bit about that in just a second. But I've been in the tech channel for 18 years, and I can say wholeheartedly, it's so amazing to be a part of a company that truly believes in SMB. So we are looking at Secure First to partner to win. If you want to take a scan of our QR code here, we have aggressive margins, increasing rebates, and new MDF that we're going to be launching. So you don't want to miss it. And we do have 2 tracks, one for velocity coming. So if you want to be more transactional, or mastery, if you want to be a more strategic partner of ours, we'd love to work with you. And of course, we have our provider program for MSSPs and MSPs as an overlay to that. We like to say it's a new dawn for SonicWall because we're doing things a little bit different. We were acquired by Dell, we were released from Dell, and now we're private, we're gritty, we're passionate, and we have a rich 30-year threat detection prevention intelligence that we're using machine learning and AI for, but we're run like a startup. We're passionate and gritty and entrepreneurial, just like many of you out there, and we can move fast and we can support you, and we're thinking about what's important to you through our outside-in approach. We're listening to our advisory councils, putting your feedback to action. So we're not doing things in a vacuum, but we have a brand new product roadmap with our technical advisory council and partner advisory councils really leaning in on that. We have invested in people, process, programs, and really coming back on the map to make SonicWall even bigger and better than ever so that we can help grow your businesses for success. And we believe that MSPs and MSSPs are the keys to the kingdom. In fact, we've seen 75% growth in our MSSP partners year over year. So now that we know the future is hybrid and mobile and less secure, we actually have conducted annually our cyber threat report. We utilize all of the intelligence that we've collected in over 215 countries and territories around the world. And we look at all of the threats that are happening, from ransomware to malware to cryptojacking and beyond. And we've put into that the fact that there's a cyber attack every 39 seconds and a ransomware attack every 14 seconds. That means during each of our presentations, there's 20 cyber attacks and 50 ransomware attacks. That's beyond debilitating for your customers. And you need to partner with vendors that can enable and protect and support you in the right ways at the right time. If you'd like to learn a little bit more about our threat intelligence report, you can download the report here, and you can also scan the QR code. Now, we know that cybercrime is leading in a very strong direction. It's actually 40x the amount of investment that's going into cybersecurity. And so we need to make sure that we're building the right products and solutions to help enable and support and protect against these rapidly evolving threat detection and bad actors. That's why we created a shift to boundless cybersecurity. And the importance here is we need to be everywhere, omnipresent, with seamless coverage, a unified multi-tenant view, automation that adapts continuously to your needs and really is helping to protect you regardless of you having to pay attention to it. We'll be there to support and defend. So as you look at some of these slides, you can see some of those threats we mentioned, and these are just some of the ways that SonicWall can help, from email to mobile remote, cloud SaaS, network security, endpoints, IoT, and Wi-Fi. We know that it's so important to have a data-centric model that's always on, always learning, and aware of the current and emerging attacks, protecting against the most evasive threats. So as we build out this portfolio, we want to help you simplify your stack with an array of solutions that can really help you across the board. That's why we have our Capture Cloud platform and our ever-evolving system. In fact, we're continuing to invest in XDR, MDR, SASE, and more to ensure that you're secure and protected. So there's going to be a lot of evolution as we continue to build our stack to support you and your customers in your needs. And just a call out here, we had a Capture, obviously real-time deep memory inspection. So they conducted 10,000 tests over an 8-year period, and we had a perfect threat detection. In fact, we're the only vendor that won 5 straight perfect scores. So we are committed to the success of this, and this is for new and evolving threats. And as we look through these cutting edge threats, we want to make sure that we have 1.1 million sensors around the globe. We are blocking 28 million malware attacks daily, and we have collected 140,000 samples. So our 24/7, 365 days a year is going to continue to be there to keep you secure, protected, and give you peace of mind. Also, fun fact, we just launched Firewall as a Service. You never miss an opportunity to simplify or bring together 24/7 support by streamlining your billing process. So it's an exciting investment that we're continue to build the right portfolio for our MSPs and MSSPs. And we'd love to talk about that with you in our breakout session. So please join. We're the first few people to enter, everyone that enters will be entered to win 3 Amazon gift cards for $100 and some sweet Sonic Wall swag. There's never been a better time to be a Sonic Wall partner, and I'd love to talk to you about that. See you soon.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Michelle.
Thank
So
you.
good to- all right. Bye. Okay. So polls should be going up. And yeah, give your feedback. A consummate pro. So I don't know, Kevin, we covered a lot of the topics I had in mind. I think one other one that we haven't talked about today, and we do talk about it quite often, is around product reviews. We are approaching a pretty big milestone for us, and I think we're about 75 reviews away from hitting 3,000. And again, those are reviews from the community. Everything that shapes our stack charts, which is the visualization of the feedback that MSPs are giving to each of the products, is all based on those product reviews. So bringing transparency and honesty to the community, and yeah, everybody here could actually get us to that 3,000. If everybody here goes and leaves a product review or two, you can get us to those 3,000. We give you $15 Amazon gift cards for your time. Just put in, I guess, just June pitch. That'll be the referral code, and we'll reward you for those efforts. So maybe we can get to 3,000 today, Kevin. You never know.
Maybe. Yeah, that would be awesome. Maybe, or June pitch or June engage. Either one will work.
Either one.
But yeah,
But
3,000 would be great.
Yeah, and I was going to share, and you can feel free to talk over this, but the platform's ever evolving, and we're trying to bring, again, more transparency. We've got a new section called Top Trending Products, and then Top Trending Companies. A lot of this based off of the amount of product reviews people are getting, followers, things like that within the platform. So definitely go ahead and check this out. But you can search all kinds of categories on the different products you would like to do reviews for. So yeah.
Well, I wasn't going to talk over you, but what I will say is that we've got we're pumped because we have an individual that is joining us, a head of market research that spent time at Gartner, at Forrester, at Serious Decisions, and so they'll do quite a bit of work in helping us, start to visualize these product reviews and share that back to the industry with some really interesting insights on what the industry is looking for, not just in the product, but what they're looking for in their vendors. And so stay tuned for that, because that data is going to be pretty darn powerful when we start to publish that in September. So stay tuned.
Absolutely. All right.
All right. So if we're
yep, go ahead.
We are moving on. I did notice when you shared your screen that the next company to present, Mail Protector, is on one of those top trending companies on the homepage. And so with that, we're pleased to present our 7th pitch or engaged presenter of the day, Mr. David Setzer, the founder and CEO of Mail Protector, based in Greenville, South Carolina. It's founded in 1999. It's a SaaS-based email security, encryption, and compliance platform. It's delivered exclusively through a network of global IT partners. Additionally, David has invested more than 25 years in mentoring and training and aspiring entrepreneurs in the former communist Eastern Europe. And I forget the exact how many times you've traveled back and forth. I know it was quite an insane number of trips back and forth over to Czech Republic. But anyway, I digress. And David, you're up.
Yeah, thanks, Kevin. We just actually took our whole family, celebrated 100 trips there. But before we get started, I want to know this, Matt, Kevin. Do you guys have some kind of backstage like drinking game or something on how many times we say the word AI? Or is it like one of those like college football mascots, like you got to do progressive push-ups every time somebody says AI?
We don't officially, but I think for next one that'll be the game. So
I think you should need some like buzzword bingo or something. Well, I'll jump in with a few. So I'll throw in a few AIs just to keep the AI party rolling. So let me here. I'll share screen real quick. Get this started. All right, there we go. Hope we're good right there. Well, Kevin, you kind of mentioned who we are, so that pretty much says it all. We've been protecting governments, nonprofits, small business entities for over 2 decades, protecting inboxes around the world for decades. How we do business, which is important as a partner-only company. We've been working with partners for that entire time, but for over a decade now, we've been 100% channel only. So we only go to market through MSPs. We only go to market through channel partners per month, per mailbox. We don't require block purchases. We build our systems around making it friendly and making it easy to do business with partners, because we know what it's like to build a business. And in addition to complete NFR for your organization, we have no 3-year contracts. So what I'm going to try to do here for a second, and now 6.5 minutes left, is we're going to take a little bit of an email journey, and I'll get some of the boring stuff out of the way at the beginning. So first of all, since everybody's here, that email security has to be the core foundation of any security stack. And the reason for that is today over 90% of threats are delivered through email. It is the prime attack vector. 10, 12 years ago, maybe that figure, if we would have been having this conversation, would have been 50 or 60%. Well, today it's 90%. So you cannot ignore this part of your security stack. You will always be playing catch up if you do. How we handle it, how we at Mail Protector address that with over 20 years of experience, is a complete email security solution that while we have some great platform integrations with G Suite and 365 to make setup and management a lot easier, it's still completely agnostic. So you can apply it to any email platform, any email solution that your customers have, from email continuity to archiving and backup to inbound security, a complete inbound security. And then also most critical is outbound security with our SafeSend product. We actually used to sell our Cloud Filter and SafeSend products as separate products. But really at this point, at this stage in the game, having outbound having security without having outbound is kind of like leaving the back door, locking the front door of your house and leaving the back door open. One of kind of our key tip of the spear products is a encryption product called Bracket. And this is something that's been out for over 5 years now. No apps, downloads, or plugins. Is absolutely the most secure and easiest to use encryption product on the market. It is a fully compliant product, literally that your grandmother can use. Yet we have people also that have ramped up the security that Bracket allows you to do it in sensitive geographies and sensitive places around the world. So it is the quintessential email encryption product on the market today. We've got some other folks have kind of seen it and can come along with our philosophy and trying to do some similar things, but with four patents on Bracket now. If you're one of our partners with Bracket, you have something unique that you're going to market with. And I'll let one of our partners actually give you some information on it.
The easiest encryption there is on the market. The data leak protection module with it, the ability to auto bracket, the ability for how easy it is for an end user on the other side of that email to get the encrypted email, super easy. The bracket share is something that my clients absolutely love. And then the other thing is Bracket's trying to sell for you, right? Every end user receiving an email says, hey, you like this encryption tool? Learn more. So it's also used as a lead gen. So it is something that's not even an option. Every single client of ours is running that Mail Protector suite, and that's Cloud Filter, SafeSend, and the Bracket.
So as a complete partner-only company, we actually develop for two personas, for the security user and for the partner. And that feature there that Mike showed you is a good example. We're giving out over a lead a day at this point to our MSP partners through our own efforts and through Bracket notifications. So you actually have a lead gen tool within your security. We've got some unbelievable stories on that. What I'm going to do is take just a quick 60-second tour through your options right now in the security world. And in the security space, you've got really three options. You've got your platform or built-in security. And that security designed really at its DNA to protect the platform. It's kind of your basic checkbox security. And what hackers would love is that if you use all security from one organization, creating a monoculture, because that just makes it easier for them to invade your organization and your customers' organizations. As you can see from the other folks in this community that we have here today, platform security is not enough. The other option you have that some folks have talked about today is API security. And I got a lot of friends in some of those organizations, and they are doing some awesome things. API security is great because you have some fantastic flexibility within the API security, but from a completeness standpoint, you can't create a complete package of security because you can't see the entire flow. Then you also have the gateway security. So this is where you have gateways on inbound and outbound of your flow. And this is the core, really the heavy lifter of the email security world. It is honestly, it's the hardest thing to do in email security because it manages the active email flow. We know we've been doing it for 20 years. And there's a reason that in the last decade or so, you haven't seen new gateways come around, because it's a really, really hard thing to do. But it's also, as you can see by the adoption in large organizations, it is the core underlying security of every large organization around the world, because it is the basis of any email security implementation. But here's the problem. All of us have a core weakness, in that the problem is we are fighting the wrong side of asymmetric warfare. They are lobbing $1 million missiles and we are shooting them down with, or sorry, they're lobbing $100 mortars and we're shooting them down with $1 million missiles. The problem is the core platform. The core platform of SMTP was created for a closed network. This was the internet when SMTP was created. And this is why this is what an email looks like. And so we've been fighting this battle as the network has opened. So what we're doing at Mail Protector is we have taken the entire concept of email security and turned it on its head. We have reimagined what security should be, and we have created a product that sits at the core, not just of security, but of your entire email experience. Because protection is absolute, you have to have it. But there's also privacy. You also have to shield where you are. You have to shield your infrastructure. And then there's the whole concept of productivity. Imagine what it would be like to email, as we say, like it's 1985. If you want to put noise canceling headphones on your inbox, Shield is a product that can do that. And we're just starting to roll that out now. It's been actually 1.5 years in active development, over 10 years in kind of the mental making. And it will be an experience only available through partners. It's something that you've never seen before. We do it by marrying the two core technologies of API and gateway, not just using them, but we have had to rebuild the entire infrastructure from the ground up to marry them together. And we'll love to talk more about those.
David, it's wrap up time. Yep.
All right,
perfect.
Cool. Go to email.security. You can create your own assessment if you're one of our partners. And have your branding engine set up. It's already custom branded for you. Come over to our breakout room. I think we're giving away a $250, raffling off a $250 gift card today. Great being with everybody. Thanks.
Excellent. Thank you, David. All right, so the polls should be going up, and we'll have one more presenter today, and then in terms of how it'll flow, you'll fill out the poll questions again. We'll do the final poll questions for best pitch, who you thought did the best presentation today, as well as if you want to take advantage of the Uber Eats, you'll be able to do that there. And then we'll do some closing statements, and then screen will change for you, and you'll have the option to go into the various breakout rooms. And again, you'll have the option to go into several of those, and we will recap all of the special offers that people are doing at the end here. So Kevin, one of the final breaks, anything on your mind?
Nothing really on my mind right now. No, I'm actually pretty darn impressed with all the presenters so far, and just the evolution of a lot of these platforms. I'm seeing a lot of them firsthand the last 4 or 5 years, and it's just amazing to see how all these vendors have come, how far they've come over the last couple of years. So yeah, very, very impressive.
Yeah, I think the competitive nature brings out the best in everybody, because we've obviously sat through a lot of these events, and I think from top to bottom so far, this is really one of the strongest in terms of presentations that we've seen. So we were going back and forth. There's some questions that our team backstage, we wanted to interact and ask the audience. So after you fill out your poll question, you can feel free to put in the chat. One of the questions was just straight up PC versus Mac. And then another question was work from home, or are you back in the office? So kind of what's the status of where you are from that perspective, or you could put hybrid. Obviously, there's a mix, but there's definitely, Kevin, what do you think? There's definitely a huge push back into the office, I think.
Yeah, I think so, and I think it's not only from an executive standpoint, but I think people just want to get back to the office. I think there's lost that sense of connection, right? You always talk about the water cooler, especially with a lot of the sales organizations, you know, and the vibe, or the enthusiasm that you can kind of generate in a sales organization. So I don't know. I think it's being led now by a lot of it's being led by employees who want to get back and having a sense of community, or combined, unified mission with their companies. So
yeah,
that's what I think.
Mind you, audience, we're both saying that from beach houses right now. So no,
That's
but
a
I mean,
holiday coming up.
No, I know. I'm just kidding around. But
Yeah.
I do like the
Yeah.
flexibility of being able to work from everywhere. But I do agree. I think being part of a team physically in an office, I don't think there's anything quite like that. So, all right. And
Yes.
Erica's saying that everybody's saying home backstage. So, anyways.
Yeah. There you go. Well, there's also nothing quite like another great Maryland-based company named Inky, and their founder, Dave Baggett, who's our next presenter. He's the founder of Inky, as I mentioned, a company that tackles phishing emails using advanced technology. He also has a strong background in computer science and was previously involved in a successful acquisition of ITA software by Google. Inky offers innovative products and solutions for email security, utilizing computer vision and machine learning. Take it away, Dave.
So you didn't say AI, you said machine learning, so you don't get to drink. I wanted to focus on three things I think really distinguish us and make us different and make us a great choice for MSPs in the short time we have. The first is that our approach, I think, is fundamentally different. Our goal is really to make Inky understand and recognize the mail like a person does. And we really do this so that we can know what the person's going to think when they receive the mail. Because if you think about phishing in particular, it's often impersonation, right? It's often that the attacker is trying to convince the recipient that he's a brand they know or a person they know. So we need to know how the user is going to react to the mail to understand what potential threat it poses. So I'll talk a little bit about how we do that. I also want to share a little bit about our end user experience, what your customers, your end users will see when they use Inky, because I really feel like, unusually for a security product, it truly is a delightful experience for customers, and it saves you, the MSP, a tremendous amount of time, because we have much more of a self-service sort of approach to email security than other companies. And finally, we're a small company. We've been around for a while, but we've grown organically. We're focused heavily on MSP. And I think, for me personally, I'm a founder like you guys are. This is my third startup. And I think about the product and the customer support and the reputation of the company a lot of the same ways that I imagine you do. So I think we can take a very personal approach with MSPs. And I think that when you talk to some of our customers, they'll tell you that. So let me talk a little bit about detection here. One thing that we do that I believe we're the only ones that do is we render every single mail that comes through. We render it in browsers that we run in the cloud, and we run classifiers on the output of this process. So we literally have now human level of accuracy identification of branding, like this mail, for example. Obviously, you've seen thousands of these. This is a fake Microsoft mail. When the human recipient receives this mail, he or she is going to say, oh, that's a brand I know, it's Microsoft. And this is, in fact, the way that the attacker is trying to fool the person, trying to fool them into thinking it's really Microsoft, and there's a call to action there, which probably leads to a credential harvesting page. So again, we want Inky to understand and see the mail just like the end user is going to. And we do that again by rendering the mail. And then we run classifiers. I won't say AI, I'll say machine learning classifiers on the output. And this, with human levels of accuracy, can identify mail from hundreds of brands now. This means that, again, when this mail comes in, it's not sufficient for Inky to say it has to pass DKIM and SPF. No, we now know it has to pass SPF and DKIM for a mail server that legitimately sends mail on behalf of Microsoft. So we know it's not impersonating them. The other thing this lets us do, though, is by rendering the mail, we can actually have countermeasures against all these cloaking techniques that the attackers are using to hide from the SEGs. This is an example of a zero font mail. This is exactly the same mail. I just modified the CSS slightly so that the zero font text that the attacker put in is visible, and you can see he's put in all this gibberish to try to fool the regular expression pattern matching that the SEGs do. By virtue of rendering every mail, Inky has both views of the mail, both the visual one that the user is going to see, where Inky can see that that says Office 365, even though the attackers tried to obscure it, but also the fact that it's got all this extra stuff in here. And in fact, that can often be a tell for a phishing mail by itself. On the end user experience, I think this is really important. We took the idea of injecting banners into mail, which has been around probably 10 years, and we've done this on steroids, essentially. So you can see we have 3 different colors of banners. 85% of mails will get a gray, 10 to 15% will get a yellow, and the minority of mails that are definitely malicious will get a red. Most customers configure those to go straight to quarantine. This doesn't require any particular client. It works with regular Apple Mail, works with mobile. We're doing this purely by injecting the banners into the mail, and we strip them on the way out so these don't stack up in conversations. The important thing is these yellows can say one of 70 things that give the user information, and users really like this because it causes them to slow down and read the message, and the message is meaningful and simple and not mumbo jumbo from their standpoint. So they really like it. And below there, you can see that there's a report this mail link that lets the users, just by clicking that link, report the mail. It can go into your SOC process. It can come to us. It's a great way to involve the users in the phishing protection experience and make them sort of your last line of defense. Also, I would say this banner concept creates teachable moments from real emails, and our customers and end users really love this. We have a complete security platform now. We started out with just the inbound mail protection you see in the middle, but now we have a full complement. We can really be truly your one-stop shop for anything relating to email security. You notice we do outbound now. It's a DLP product. We have an email encryption product. It's very easy to use. We do attachment analysis. That in particular is very cool because it does the same level of analysis as a virtual machine sandbox kind of approach, but it does it literally in milliseconds. So there's no delaying the mail to analyze for the attachments. We also scan internal mail between mailboxes. And then we've actually added recently productivity-oriented capabilities. We have a really amazing gray mail capability that automatically folders mail that's not pure spam, but it's nuisance mail that people don't want. And then again, you as the MSP don't have to manage this. Users manage their own preferences as to which kind of gray mail they might want, which specific senders they want to allow through. So you're not having to deal with this. And then finally, we now have a security awareness training offering as well. So again, everything that you need to protect your customers from email-based threats, you can get from us. And I think in terms of why you would want to partner with us, again, we have an approach very similar, I think, to yours. We provide very personalized support. We're also super easy to deploy. In fact, we give you a license key you can deploy without even talking to us, really, and it takes literally 6 minutes. Very easy to administer. We have an incredibly capable team-based management system where you can look at all of your teams, set all the different settings for them, and actually get a good sense of the threats that are affecting them as well. And the final point I'll make is that we're very, very favorably priced. You can make really good margins by working with us. And of course, the more that you buy from us, the better the pricing and the better your margin. These are not cherry picked. These are real quotes. These are unsolicited. I encourage you to talk to some of our customers because they really do like working with us and they really do love the product, and their users do too. So I would encourage you to ask around about us. We're growing. We'd love to talk to you. We have a page on our site, inky.com/partners. Come on there and check us out, and also visit us at the end in the breakout session. Thanks, everyone.
Excellent. Thanks, Dave. All right. So the final polls will be going up for Inky. And then right after that, almost directly after that, the 2 polls for who you thought gave the best pitch /presentation, and if you want to take advantage of the Uber Eats So I don't know who will win best presentation, but backstage there was some chatter, Kevin, about Inky's logo. Everybody loved the logo, which of course brought us back to the ID Agent days, and it's actually the same designer from ID Agent, correct? Or for ID Agent.
Yeah, it's funny because I was so Dharma, who owns that organization. I was standing around. Our kids were going to school together, standing around and talking about design. And he said, "Yeah, I just worked on this company called Inky," and showed it me. I was like, "This is incredible." And so yeah, so we worked with Dharma on the ID Agent, um, uh, brand and
The
Smoke
black,
Monster
yeah,
and all
that
that stuff.
whole,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he knocked it out of the park. So yeah, they do good work. They definitely have a memorable brand. So
And Inky is a female, by the way, so it's a she, not a he.
okay. Yes.
I
Yes.
love the chatter.
Yes.
Michelle, Octopus Women in Tech. Hashtag.
Yes. It will be trending this afternoon. Let's make it happen. Yeah. Very good. Very good. Now, look, you said it during that last break. I mean, the quality of the presentation and really how this space has evolved over the last several years is really incredible. We started with, early days ID Agent with just pure dark web monitoring, kind of, showing and teaching that there's something bad happening. And then we started to evolve into security awareness training, and we sold that to Kaseya. But the evolution of this space over the last 4 or 5 years is demonstrated by these vendors and their solutions. It's just absolutely incredible, and I think it's gonna accelerate even faster. And I think a couple of the presenters mentioned that compliance is going to be, a very strong catalyst. Insurance and compliance, maybe insurance more so than compliance. Generally speaking, for MSPs, is going to be a really big catalyst for why you need these solutions. These are going to be solutions that are going to be absolutely bare minimum to get any type of security, or not security, but cyber insurance policy in the future. So it's just great to see how these products have matured, and and these are some of the best in the industry.
Absolutely. All right. So a couple things. So the other poll will be coming up, those vendor polls. And while we're doing that, which shouldn't take very long, I'm just going to quickly go over and read the incentives. Again, you can go into multiple breakouts. And again, the screen will change and have all the links. For Graphist, they're giving away a $150 Amazon gift card. For Zorus, we're doing a raffle for attendees that complete our form and join our breakout, giving away a 46-ounce black Zorus Yeti tumbler. Always nice to have those tumblers. Iron Scales, the first 10 people will get a $15 Amazon gift card. Vade is going to do a raffle for a $500 Amazon gift card. Titan HQ will be giving away a $100 Amazon gift card voucher for anyone that books and attends a Titan HQ demo. And then Sonic Wall, a $100 gift card as well for Amazon. And then there's some incredible promotion for savings up to 35% through, looks like July 31st. And then Mail Protector, when a demo is booked with Mail Protector during the event, entered into a giveaway for $250 Amazon gift card. And then Inky, first 20 MSPs to schedule and complete a demo with Inky will earn a $50 Amazon gift card. That is a lot of money being given away. So that's the most, I think, times. I think that's the first time, I think, across the board it's been all gift cards. So that's fun. So the last thing I think I'll leave it with, or you got something? Go ahead, Kevin.
You get in there and interact as well, because you've got a lot of the founders, a lot of very important people in this industry on these calls, and so get in, interact, not just with one, get in with multiple, because this is you've got questions about these solutions, this industry. Now's the time to ask them. So get in there and engage.
Yeah, and I was just going to add, just kudos to the participating vendors. We have competitors on here. We have ones that are pseudo competitors, a lot of different things, but I think everybody did a great job of talking about what makes them different versus taking direct shots at the others. So maybe another time we'll take shots at each other at an event. And but everybody did a great job, and thank you. And we'll see you next month.
All righty.